Every morning, you wake up in a civilization that feels permanent. The roads are still there. Satellites still circle above your head. Millions of people wake up, drink coffee, answer emails, and continue building a world that seems destined to grow forever. It feels normal, but the real answer is far stranger. Because every civilization in history believed exactly the same thing. The Egyptians thought their kingdom would last forever. The Romans believed their empire was the center of the world. The Maya built cities so magnificent they seemed impossible to abandon. Even just a century ago, people believed technology had reached its peak. Every one of them was wrong. History is a graveyard of civilizations that thought they had reached the finish line. So why should yours be different? Unless yours isn't just another civilization. Unless it's the final one. Not because humanity disappears. Not because Earth explodes. But because one day, your descendants may reach the absolute limits of what a civilization can become. It sounds impossible. After all, progress has always continued. Stone tools became bronze. Bronze became iron. Steam engines became factories. Factories became computers. Computers became artificial intelligence. Every generation has looked back at the previous one and wondered how people ever lived that way. Progress feels endless because it has always been part of your story. But the universe doesn't promise endless stories. It obeys laws. And every law has limits. Think about speed. For thousands of years, faster simply meant building a better horse. Then came trains, cars, airplanes, rockets. Each invention felt like another step toward infinite possibility. Then physics interrupted. Albert Einstein showed that nothing carrying information can travel faster than light. It isn't a technological problem waiting to be solved. It's a fundamental rule of reality itself. No matter how advanced your descendants become, they may never outrun light itself. The same is true for energy. Every civilization survives by controlling more energy than the one before it. Your ancestors burned wood. Later, coal-fueled factories. All transformed transportation. Electricity connected continents. Today, nuclear power and solar energy hint at an even larger future. Russian astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev realized that civilizations could actually be ranked by how much energy they control. A Type 1 civilization harnesses the energy of an entire planet. A Type 2 civilization captures the power of its star, perhaps with gigantic structures surrounding the sun. A Type 3 civilization commands the energy of an entire galaxy. Humanity hasn't even reached Type 1. You're still climbing the very first step. Yet even the Kardashev Scale has an ending. Galaxies run out of usable stars. Stars eventually die. The universe itself slowly becomes colder. Progress doesn't continue forever simply because you want it to. It continues only while physics allows it. That changes everything. Because the future stops being a question of imagination. It becomes a question of limits. Imagine humanity surviving another million years. Cities no longer sit only on Earth. Mars has become ordinary. Gigantic habitats drift between planets. Asteroids are mined like mountains. Children grow up beneath artificial skies inside rotating space colonies. Diseases that terrify you today exist only in history books. Old age has become optional. Artificial intelligence works alongside human minds rather than replacing them. Some people may even choose to upload their memories into digital forms, existing as information instead of biology. Would they still be human? Or would they become something entirely new? The strange part is that none of these ideas violate known physics. They sound like science fiction only because your civilization is still young. 200 years ago, carrying a supercomputer inside your pocket would have sounded equally impossible. The future often looks ridiculous until it becomes ordinary. But imagine another million years passing. Eventually, every nearby planet has been explored. Every nearby star has been reached. Every practical technology has been invented. Every scientific law that can be discovered has been understood. What happens then? For the first time in history, civilization might stop changing. Not because it collapsed, because there was nothing fundamentally left to improve. That idea feels uncomfortable because your brain expects endless growth. Yet nature rarely works that way. A tree eventually reaches its maximum height. A mountain cannot grow forever. Even stars spend billions of years shining before exhausting their fuel. Why should civilizations be different? Perhaps they aren't. Freeman Dyson imagined civilizations so advanced they could surround stars with enormous structures to collect nearly all of their energy. Today, astronomers still search for evidence that such megastructures might exist somewhere in the galaxy. They haven't found one. That absence creates one of science's greatest mysteries. If intelligent life should be common, where is everybody? This question became famous through physicist Enrico Fermi. Today it's known as the Fermi Paradox. The universe contains hundreds of billions of stars. Many are billions of years older than the Sun. If intelligent civilizations commonly survive long enough to spread across space, the galaxy should already be full of them. Yet the sky remains silent. Why? Some scientists believe the answer is simple. Advanced civilizations destroy themselves. Perhaps nuclear war. Perhaps climate collapse. Perhaps an artificial intelligence that grows beyond its creators. This idea is known as the Great Filter. Somewhere between simple life and a galaxy-spanning civilization lies an obstacle so difficult that almost no species survives it. The terrifying question is whether humanity has already passed that filter, or whether it still lies ahead. But there is another possibility, a far stranger one. Maybe advanced civilizations don't disappear. Maybe they simply stop expanding. Think about your own life. Thousands of years ago, survival demanded constant movement. Humans followed animals, searched for fresh water, and wandered across continents because standing still meant death. Today, most of your needs arrive at your front door. Progress changes behavior. The more capable a civilization becomes, the less it needs to spread. A civilization millions of years older than yours might discover that building another colony isn't worth the effort. Perhaps they create perfect virtual worlds where trillions of conscious minds live richer lives than anything possible in physical reality. Perhaps entire civilizations retreat inward. From the outside, they would appear silent. Not extinct, just uninterested. Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom has proposed another unsettling possibility. What if advanced civilizations become so technologically powerful that they can simulate entire universes? If creating conscious simulations becomes easier than exploring real galaxies, perhaps the greatest achievement of intelligence isn't colonizing space. It's creating entirely new realities. If that's true, your descendants might one day become creators instead of explorers. The frontier would no longer be the stars. It would be existence itself. Then comes an even bigger question. What does success actually mean? For thousands of years, success meant surviving another winter. Later it meant building cities, then nations, then global civilization. Today it often means developing faster computers, smarter algorithms, and cleaner energy. But every definition of success has eventually changed. Perhaps the final civilization reaches a point where success itself disappears. Imagine a society with no hunger, no disease, no poverty, no violent conflict, unlimited clean energy, unlimited knowledge, lifespans measured in thousands of years, artificial intelligence solving problems before humans even recognize them. What challenge remains? Competition fades, discovery slows, innovation becomes increasingly rare because almost every useful invention already exists. At first, this sounds like paradise. Then something unexpected happens. Purpose becomes difficult to find. Throughout history, struggle has shaped civilization. The need to survive created agriculture. The need to communicate created writing. The need to travel created ships, railways, aircraft, and rockets. Challenges force creativity. Without challenges, what drives civilization forward? Some psychologists believe humans are happiest when working toward meaningful goals rather than simply possessing comfort. If every goal has already been achieved, would happiness itself begin to lose meaning? Your descendants might discover that the greatest problem isn't scarcity, it's abundance. The universe itself offers another reminder. According to the second law of thermodynamics, usable energy gradually becomes less available over enormous stretches of time. This process is called entropy. In simple terms, the universe slowly moves toward disorder. Stars burn their fuel. Galaxies drift farther apart. Eventually, unimaginably far in the future, the cosmos may become too cold to support new stars. Even the greatest civilization imaginable cannot negotiate with physics. It can only postpone the inevitable. Perhaps the final civilization isn't defined by infinite growth. Perhaps it's defined by learning how to exist gracefully inside a universe with limits. That changes the entire story. Maybe history has never been a race toward perfection. Maybe it has always been a journey toward understanding. And if that's true, the greatest achievement of humanity may not be conquering the universe. It may be learning its boundaries. And yet, there is one possibility that almost nobody talks about. What if there is no such thing as a final civilization? Not because progress never ends, but because every time humanity believes it has reached the summit, it discovers another mountain hidden behind the clouds. History has repeated this pattern again and again. When your ancestors first controlled fire, they couldn't imagine cities. The builders of the pyramids couldn't imagine electricity. The inventors of the steam engine couldn't imagine the internet. Even today, your understanding of reality may be as incomplete as a Stone Age hunter trying to understand quantum physics. That thought should make you humble. There may be entire branches of science that your civilization hasn't even learned to ask about. Unknown forms of energy, dimensions beyond ordinary space, methods of computation that make today's supercomputers look like children's toys. Every generation mistakes the edge of its knowledge for the edge of reality. It never is. Physicist Richard Feynman once remarked that nature's imagination is greater than ours. Again and again, the universe has proven him right. Every answer uncovers 10 new questions. Every discovery reveals an even larger mystery waiting behind it. So perhaps the greatest danger isn't reaching the end. It's believing you've already reached it. Civilizations don't stop growing because knowledge disappears. They stop growing when curiosity does. Curiosity has always been humanity's greatest survival tool. Long before writing, before farming, before cities, someone looked beyond the next hill simply because they wanted to know what was there. That same curiosity carried humans across oceans, into the skies, onto the moon, and now, toward the planets beyond. Every extraordinary achievement began with an ordinary question. What if? That simple question has shaped your entire history. It still does. Perhaps millions of years from now, your descendants will stand beneath an artificial sky orbiting a distant star. They may command technologies that appear indistinguishable from magic. They may rewrite biology, control the energy of suns, and preserve memories for millions of years. Yet even they might still look into the darkness between galaxies and ask exactly the same question you asked today. What comes next? Because curiosity has no finish line. The universe may have limits. Physics may have limits. Energy may have limits. But the desire to understand seems almost limitless. And maybe that is what truly defines civilization. Not the size of its cities. Not the power of its machines. Not the number of planets it controls, but its willingness to keep asking questions when no one knows the answers. If humanity ever builds the final civilization, it probably won't look like the end of history. There won't be fireworks announcing that the journey is over. There won't be a final invention. No last discovery. No single moment when someone declares that everything worth knowing has finally been known. Instead, it may arrive so gradually that nobody notices. A civilization that has solved nearly every practical problem. A civilization that understands almost every law of nature. A civilization that has learned to live within the boundaries of the universe instead of trying to escape them. And perhaps that's the greatest twist of all. The final civilization may not be remembered for conquering the cosmos. It may be remembered for finally understanding its place within it. Tomorrow morning, you'll wake up in the same world. The roads will still be there. Satellites will still circle above your head. Millions of people will drink coffee, answer emails, and continue building a future that feels ordinary. But now you'll know something most people never think about. Every building raised, every scientific discovery, every child taught, every question asked, Maybe another tiny step toward the greatest civilization humanity will ever create. Or perhaps, just another step toward an even greater future that nobody alive today can possibly imagine. And that uncertainty may be the most extraordinary part of being human. Before you click away, think about this for a moment. Everything you've seen today, from the first stone tools to the possibility of a civilization that spans the stars, is part of a story that's still being written. And for the first time in history, you're living through one of its chapters. So what do you think? Will humanity one day build the final civilization? Or will there always be another horizon waiting beyond the next discovery? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I read as many as I can, and I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this journey through science, history, and the future, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and allows me to keep creating videos that explore humanity's biggest questions. And if you're curious about where our species might be heading next, keep watching. The next video explores another fascinating mystery that could completely change the way you see the world. Until then, thanks for watching.